Before the US-China trade war, companies that were shipping things, like these car parts, hats, or travel irons, from China to the US had it easy. Tariffs were lower and fewer. The way was clear for Chinese exports to reach their customers overseas.
Yes! Today, the game has changed with the appearance of new and heftier tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods.
See these guys over here? They're tariffs. And this ball, let's say, is a Chinese product. For the purposes of this video, we need to get this ball from this side of the field, China, all the way across the field, past the tariffs, and to the US.
That's going to help us explain a few techniques companies have developed to dodge tariffs.
Go!
Hang on. While we're having fun out here, I want to be clear about one thing. Avoiding tariffs can be illegal. Number one, minimal processing. Here's how it works. So we want to get this ball to the US, and it's subject to import taxes. But if a company sends it to another country first, say Vietnam, and makes a tiny change to it, the company can now argue that this ball is a Vietnamese product, not a Chinese one.
Hey, where'd you going?
Don't worry, it's not from China.
Really?
Positive, it's not. It sounds silly, but it can work, simply because customs authorities can't thoroughly inspect every shipment.
A trade lawyer told us that this tactic sits in a gray area. Substantial transformation is legal and allows companies to indicate a different country of origin, while it's illegal to make cosmetic changes and claim the product was not made in China. Chinese steel manufacturers have been investigated by US trade authorities and found to be using minimal processing for years. Technique number 2. Tell customs that a specific product is not what it really is. It's basically like putting something in a box and saying it's something else.
Another trade lawyer told us that after President Trump ordered 25% levies on steel, imports of turbine parts suddenly soared. It turned out that steel plates were being coded as turbine parts.
Hold up. What you got there?
Soccer ball.
Really? You sure?
Soccer. You kick it.
Hold on, let me ask my boss, okay? We got a list. Hold on.
Every US import falls into one of 18,927 product categories, and some companies have been looking at them in a very liberal way for decades.
Wait, where's that guy?
So this
Where's he
technique
going?
also sits in a sort of gray zone between what's legal and what's not.
He's gone.
Here's another one. Bear with me.
Companies are sending products to a third country for a pseudo-storage vacation.
Hey, you!
The products make a stopover in, say, Vietnam or Malaysia, anywhere that's not the US or China.
Where's the ball?
You're nothing.
Where's the ball?
The company then sends the product to the US as an export, coming from a country that's not subject to the same tariffs as China. Hey, you! This one can be really fishy though, because some companies sometimes falsify origin documents, including getting rid of the Made in China label.
Vietnam and Malaysia say they are playing by the rules of global trade and punish infringers according to the law. And then there's a radical alternative: relocate, and that's legit.
When tariffs are levied against an entire country, it sometimes might make more sense to just go play somewhere else. Some firms have moved the final phase of their production to third countries, where export items can be substantially transformed before being shipped to the US. Others have taken a more radical step and moved factories outside of China. That's President Trump's goal. With his tariffs policy, he's hoping that more companies will move their manufacturing facilities back to the US, or at the very least, out of China. Some Chinese steelmakers have moved production to places like Serbia and Indonesia.
Ready, Rick!
And the White House would consider that a victory because it means more investment is moving out of China.
The US government is aware that backdoors exist. It has started to close existing loopholes by streamlining and widening the net of its tariffs and punishing those who are helping Chinese companies to dodge tariffs. The Chinese government says it forbids false custom declarations. But with millions of items, ranging from clothes to automobiles and pastries, that are being shipped to the US every day, hunting for cheaters is a daunting task. And controlling each shipment would be too costly, both for companies and authorities.
According to a number of insiders, the vast majority of companies just have to play by the new rules.